But we're going to break this down. Here's what we're going to talk about. What the approach is for this type of market right now, the type of mindset you got to have for this type of market, what to say, how to follow up, how to close effectively, and how to become a blue ocean versus a red ocean. A red ocean is what everybody is doing right now, and the blue ocean separates you from the competition, okay? And I'm going to give you at the end of this, I'm going to give you some tools to use, some scripts to use. Some of you may already have it because you've worked with me in the past, but we're going to kind of go over everything in more of a detailed situation just on FSBOs and expireds. Now, the goal is that you're going to list 1 or 2 FSBOs in the next 30 days. That is the goal of this process for the next 3 sessions. We got to overcome any fears, build your confidence. Any negative stuff that's in your head about this stuff has to be gone. And we're going to create some momentum. Okay, just for those of you that don't know me, I'm a former MFO coach. I paid for coaching for a very long time. Former MAPS coach. I have Path to Pros, my coaching company. I've been training for 20 years, 39 years this year, believe it or not, in real estate. And I specialize in 3 areas: lead generation, lead conversion, and presentation skills. That's my forte, and I do that with individuals and teams, for those of you that don't know me. Okay, so what you can do today, okay, take good notes, ask real questions, ask specific questions. I mean, this is the type of mindset or sort of mastermind that I want. I just ask the questions. If you haven't been real successful with FSBOs and expired, you need to be asking the questions today. And start today to make the changes and get out of a comfort zone right now, because I think right now is going to be the time where you're going to have high success in this. Why make calls to FSBOs and expireds? Okay. Well, first of all, these are people that are raising their hands saying, listen, man, I want to sell. You know, I need to sell my house. The consumer has been conditioned to understand what a hard close is. They're conditioned already, and we're repelling them. So how do we get in the door with these people? And that's what I want to discuss with you today, and how to use another approach. Okay. So some of you have a negative mindset about FSBOs. If we have a mindset, and I hear this all the time, all FSBOs are overpriced. I think I heard that from you, Rudy, sometimes. They're all a pain in the neck. They're all this and that. If you broad brush these groups of people, you are now going to have a problem in getting these listings. Period. End of story. All right. So we got to change our attitude. We've got to not have this imposter syndrome. For some of you that have an imposter syndrome, meaning that I don't feel good enough. I may not be that good at closing. I'm not good at this. I don't know the market. Those are all imposter syndrome elements to your personality, which we got to get rid of. And I'm going to talk to you how to get rid of those. If you go to my site, www.pathtopro.net, Vulcan 7 gives you a deal. You can click on that. It's the best money, whether it be Red X, whatever. I've been using Vulcan. They have a good quality of numbers. It's easy to use. If you don't have a service, it's such a hard thing to do. And it's the best return on any money you can do for leads. If you don't want to do that, then you're going to have to go on Zillow, or you can go to FSBO.com and try to pull whatever you can out of there. I mean, that's the easiest way of doing it for now. Some people do that, but if you could spend a little bit of money, maybe $200 or $300 in a month, and get these leads and start attacking them, I guarantee you, you list one house, I mean, you're paid for almost for the whole year. All right. So one of the things that's happening right now in today's marketplace is that because the market is doing whatever it's doing, we have to transform how we see ourselves. And we have to be ready for the field of play. The field of play is changing a little bit, okay? It's not massive changing. I mean, I think there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of, hype on what's going on. But really, we're in real estate. We got to find a person who likes us, that wants to see us as a consultant, and move them into a process of buying or selling. So if you have a problem with the imposter syndrome, if you have a problem with understanding how you have to change, then I would suggest getting that book, Alter Ego by Todd Herman. Okay. Great book. I've got it right here. I've read it. I suggest to people that need a change. And this is it right here. Alter Ego. Great, great, great book. And it's going to help you in your prospecting. I mean, you can't call someone up and not feel confident that you can help solve their issue. And a lot has to do with tonality that we're going to talk about. And listen, do not use the scripts that close aggressively over the phone on initial call. Done. There are people coaching that right now. I understand that. Unless it works for you, like right now, if whatever you're doing is working, stick with it. But we tend to want to get really aggressive over the phone and close. Our job on the phone is to get face to face with someone. Okay. We want to get face to face. Don't forget, if you have any questions at all, chat them on in. I'll try to answer them. Okay. So know that this is a process that can list a home in less than 2 weeks. Guarantee it. Okay. If you follow the process, you can get a listing in 2 weeks. You have to work on your tonality. I listen to a lot of recordings, and I can tell you that most of the time, the first words out of your mouth is giving them a feeling of a salesy person and or you're repelling them. So it's very easy. Get out, set an appointment for a preview, and go out and meet people, okay? So that they know, like, and trust you, okay? Be the doctor and not the patient, okay? So do not lie if you don't have a buyer. I hear this all the time. Well, do you have a buyer? If you don't have a buyer, just say no. No one ever says no. Here's what they say. Well, I got to look at your house, and I'm not really sure. I don't want to put you in a position that when there's an opportunity to close, you could actually go to for sale by owner and you'll find out that they're actually interviewing next week. I mean, so frustrating when you didn't follow up on a for sale by owner and find out that they listed with someone.
I'm not listing with an agent. I'm not listing with an agent. And then, 3 days later, boom, house was listed.
So what do we assess? Why does this happen? Okay. Do they really mean the lie? No. Now, here's what I think, Rudy. When someone has listed with someone, when they say no, we have to think about it 2 ways. One, maybe that guy was really good. That lady was really good, and she'd really impressed that person. Maybe that person lied about what they can do and tried to jack up, and what they've done is bought the listing, pretty much bought the listing by saying they can get a higher price, possibly. Okay. Or the seller uses as defensive posture so that they don't know what they want to do. But here's the point that we have to follow up. All these FSBOs right now want to sell. If there is a life-changing event going on in their life, meaning, death, job transfer, medical reasons, whatever it may be, we need to understand that there's a built-in mechanism. They're going to tell you this. No, we're not in a hurry. He's out of a job. Maybe they're getting a divorce. If they say they're not in a hurry, they're lying to you, and they don't mean to lie. Okay. Our job is to go, well, there's a life-changing event here going on. So now we know that I've got to stay on top of this. I mean, it is such a bloody nose when you call up someone and they've listed with someone. So it's very important that we sound right. Now, in the beginning of your script, I have a thing called the RFO. And for some of you that don't know me, I can tell you, I just got a text, a message 2 days ago from someone that used it in another industry. She goes, I can't even believe it works. Okay. The RFO, rejection-free opener. If you start off all your scripts with, I'm not sure you can help me, you'd be amazed. Some of you have used it. I don't know if Rudy, you've probably used it. Hey, I'm not sure if you can help me. I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Is that home still available? Instead of saying something like, hi, good afternoon. Is this Jonathan Smith? If someone called you by your full name and said good morning first, what's the impression that you would get of this call? Salesy? Yes? I would say yes. And I'm coaching a group out of the Philippines right now that are making appointment setters for a team. And by sounding like you're calling your best friend first will always make them more open. And if you start off with a rejection-free opener, hey, I'm not sure if you can help me. I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Is that home still for sale? First words out of my mouth, 99% of the time. Some of you who are concerned are going to say, well, you didn't disclose who you are first. I will in just a second, but I'm a sales guy. If I go, hi, good morning, this is Bill Crespo with so-and-so real estate company. I'm here to bug the hell out of you. They're going to hang up. So your tone has to have some bandwidth to it. And I'm telling you, I'm having some challenges with people from other countries because they're monotone. So using analyticals or monotone. Hi, I'm calling about the home on 123 Main Street. Is that home still available? That doesn't sound really good. But Bill, I've always talked that way. Well, do you want to list more homes? Yes. Then you have to change your tone. You have to change your tone. There's no question about this thing. And typically it's because you're shy or you're not confident and you sound very monotone like this. That's not interesting. But Bill, I've closed many deals being monotone. More power to you. Stay with your tone. 80% of the time, you're going to have to change your tone. The microphone on the phone that you use, or if you're using some other device, a headset, changes the tonality that you have. So when you think you're being highly expressive, you really don't sound highly expressive. Right now, because I'm talking to you guys and I'm using this and I'm a coach, I have to accentuate more what I'm saying to get your attention so you listen to me. But if I went, today we're going to talk about for sale by owners, and I really think that you ought to use this RFO. RFO. I mean, you're going to go, what the hell is this guy talking about? All right. The consumer has been conditioned to be attracting people that are attractive in their voice and in how they speak. 30 years ago, it was much easier to be pushy. Now they've got all this information. They think they're smarter than us. And you have to decide, are you going to be the doctor or are you going to be the patient before you make the call? A doctor or a specialist behaves a certain way. Make sense? And this is what we're not, go out and FSBO and call FSBOs, okay? But you can call FSBOs all you want and not set up a preview and not have good tonality and not have a strategy like I'm going to show you here in just a little bit, and you're hurting your chances of being successful. Now, for those of you that want this script, some of you already have it, but let's break down the script to use. And I know I'm just leaning on FSBOs. We'll work on expireds next week, but there's so much material that I want to break down for you that you become successful with. So when you look at this script, okay, and you could, listen, man, you could change a couple things. This is about the structure more than it is about the words. The beginning of the script opens up the engagement in the call so that the person stays on a little bit longer. Hey, I'm not sure if you can help me. I'm calling about the home for sale. Is this the owner? You don't have to say that. I've changed it and go, hi, I'm not sure if you can help me. I'm calling about 123 Main Street. Is that home still for sale? So I skip a little bit. It's up to you. You'll start to play around with things. You know your personality, but there's some basic things. A lot of bandwidth. You can't go over the top. And I'll just say that. If you're too expressive, hi, all right, you're going to turn off a driver and then analytical is going to hang up. Hi, I'm calling about your house. I'm so excited. Now, you're going to scare the hell out of them. They're going to hang up. They're going to do something. They're not going to let you go in their house because you're freaking them out. But you don't know the personality on the other end. So you've got to stay neutral. We have to stay with the average acceptance, which is good tonality and the right words to say in the beginning of the script. So now we have this script. Great. Hey, my name is Bill Crespo. I'm with so-and-so company. I have just a couple of quick questions. Now, the way I said that basically subconsciously says, I am getting off the phone very quick, so stick with me. Okay, it's all subconscious stuff. Not, are you familiar with the techniques I use in selling your home? Because I'm really good. You probably know about me. Click. Okay, no, I don't know about you and I don't even care about you. And they're just going to hang up. All right, so now I have 10 questions here. You could have a minimum of 5. Sometimes I only ask 5 questions and I get a preview appointment. Now, out of role play just for a second. Does this work for luxury? Well, in my market, luxury is, 1-1 all the way up. In California, luxury starts at what? 1.5, 1.7, Marco, something like that, 1.8, 2 million. So
Yeah, that's kind of where it starts. I mean, it doesn't matter. The way I look at it, if you're luxury and you're selling your house, FSBO,
yeah.
that's like you trying to sell a Rolex at a garage sale. So I mean, they're okay with the script. I don't think it doesn't matter.
So let's look at these questions. What is your time frame for moving? Now, the first question is an easy question for them to answer, simple to understand. And I don't think I've ever broken down the scripts like this and explained it to people the way I'm explaining today. Is that the first question has to be an easy thing for them to answer. It can't be complicated. And notice that there's not a lot of words. Yeah, what is your time frame for moving? Simple. They heard it. Can you answer? Well, we're not moving until 2 months. Okay, great. You're not moving for 2 months. Great. All right. So repeat and affirm, right? You repeat what they've said and you've affirmed it. That's been around for ages. I believe that's still effective today. That's telling someone that you were heard, and I understand. Great. Number 2. Now, the number 2 question really can be anything. I'm just saying, but again, it has to be an easy question. As you go down the list, the questions become a little more difficult, meaning not difficult, but gets more pointed to where you want to go with them. Okay. So if the first 1 and 2 questions that you ask in any script, in any business is easy to answer, and they hear good tonality, they're going to let you into their brain a little bit. They're going to want to talk to you. Could someone cut you off right now? Of course. There's humans out there. They're a pain in the ass. They're going to say something. They're going to be rude. They might have had a bad day. Hey, what is the current sale price? Why am I asking that? Again, an easy question. I don't trust what the stuff that I get every day in MLS, or excuse me, in the services. They could have dropped their price. So I'm confirming it. It's $675,000. Okay, great. 630. Thank you so much. Well, out of curiosity, now again, third question is getting a little bit more pointed. You could ask this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I may ask a different one, but it's a little bit more specific now. Have you had a recent appraisal? Another one is, I've heard, hey, how did you come up with your sale price? Be careful how you say it. Hey, how'd you come up with your sale price? Screw you, kick my butt. Have you had a recent appraisal done on the property? They could say yes or no. That also, I ask that question sometimes because I want to know how much homework have they done. All these things are so important so that KLT, know, like, and trust is built. So when you say something and suggest something to them, they will accept what you're saying. And then they start going, well, maybe this guy may be good to help me. This is all a strategy. This is all tactics. It's very delicate. So I may skip 3 and 4 and go right into 5. It works for me because I've got this tonality down. I've got this way of talking to people that I'm used to. And I go, hey, by a chance, let me ask you this question. Are you cooperating with real estate people? You've got to get in the house. Why are we going to address an issue that's going to cause conflict on the call? It's not going to work. Could they change your mind when they meet you? Yes. When they see that you're professional and you have a good demeanor and you're really concerning about their situation, and you gave them some type of nuggets at the house that they made them start to think, they will change their mind. But what happens is the consumer is out techniquing you. It's interesting. They've got their little mastermind that's going on today, and how to fake you guys out and say certain things and you believe it. Is our job is to kind of not believe. Hey, if you have kids, you know that they don't always tell you the truth. So as I said earlier in a couple weeks ago, that we're just kids. So they're going to say whatever they want to say. I need to get in the house. So in order to get in the house, I have to go, great. No, no, I totally understand that. I'd like to come by, take a look at it. Why do you want to see my house? Well, you know what? You know that pictures tell one story, but when you're there, you really get a sense. Now, notice how I said this. You really get a sense of the layout and the features of the home. And I'm going to go right into close. So is today or tomorrow better for you? I'm not hemming and hawing. And I think a lot of times when I listen to people prospecting, they start tripping on their words and it doesn't sound confident, which triggers the person on the other end to go, this person is not confident. I am going to now say no. Could it happen a lot? Yes. As you get better, here's what they say to you. Wow, you know what? You sound like this, Marcus. This probably happened to you. You know, you don't sound like everybody else. You sound like a little different. I normally don't let people in, but yeah, come on over. When this happens to you, you have arrived with tonality, and you've arrived with helping yourself get into the FSBO. But
Yeah,
we've got
I
to
think,
go in the door. Go ahead.
Bill, I think what I've learned from you is just not to engage in combat with them. You know, it's just everything is like they're going to throw objections at you, and I think one of the favorite objection handlers I've had from you is just say, hey, well, that's definitely an option, and then you just move on.
Let's move on.
I'm not cooperating with agents. Hey, well, that's an option.
I hate real estate people. They're ripping people off. There's that lawsuit. Well, yeah, no, hey, I hate them too. I got to work with them. So when's a good day for me to come by?
Right.
Okay, for those of you that can use humor, humor works, but it's not time for you to do your shtick. You know, we're not doing your vaudeville routine. But just saying that could reduce that or bring down that invisible fence. And thanks for reminding me about that, Marcos. Yeah, that's an option. Well, we're thinking about selling it ourselves for a while, and we may go ahead and put into MLS for a fee. Well, that's certainly an option. When's a good day for me to stop by and take a look at it? Do you have a buyer? You know, I don't have a buyer right now, but I always have buyers coming in. Is today or tomorrow convenient for me to stop by? I say it that way all the time. I'm triggered to when they say, do you have a buyer? I say the same thing all the time, and I sound confident. Well, you don't need to come by and see my house. Well, no, and let's say they're going to push me away. No, I'm not letting anybody come by. I understand that. There's some people do, some people don't. I've learned that in the years that I've been in the business, that being there also tells a better story about the house that I'm able to promote better when dealing with different people. So when do you think you'll be ready to allow someone like myself to come by? Watch this. Could they drop at that moment and say, well, go ahead, why don't you come over? It's happened before. I like what you have to say. Impress them. Don't push them. Okay? So let's look at the script again. So now we're down to like 5. I go right to 5. Are you cooperating real estate agents? Yes, we are. Great. What is the cooperation? Or sometimes they go, what do you mean cooperate? Well, are you offering a commission to an agent? Now, I don't say me. I never say me. Okay. And they go, we are offering X. Okay, fantastic. Great. Okay, when can I come by to see your house for 15 or 20 minutes? You look at the next script. When I offer, are you cooperating? They go, yeah, we are correct. Okay, and what is it? They give me a number. Great. Are you allowing agents to preview the property? That's a yes or no, what we call closed-ended question. Well, yeah. It's amazing when I hear people, oh, yeah, come on over. What is your value proposition? What do you project into these people?
So, Bill, I just got a question.
Sure.
Playing kind of devil's advocate, right? So you're saying, are you cooperating with agents? And then they'll be like, oh, well, we're just offering 1%, and or we're offering $5,000 flat fee or whatever it is, right? And I think what I've done is do exactly what you say. Well, that's an option, and not engage in a fight with them. And but they say, I talked to some of them, and they're like, oh, well, some people say I'm stupid for offering that, and then they stay on the phone with you because you're not combating with them, but they will sometimes want to combat with you. So how do you deal with it?
If they're combating with you?
Yeah.
So let's role play that. You be the combative person. So tell me what that would
Well,
be.
you know what? I'm just offering 1%, and I'm not gonna hire an agent. So I mean, if you know, don't waste my time.
Okay, great. So let me ask you this question. I guess what you're saying is if it doesn't sell, you plan on renting it out?
Oh no, I don't need an agent. I got like 30 calls already today, and I just if you want 1%, but don't come over if you want to list my property because I'm gonna let you in
Okay.
the back door
So
quicker than you came in the front door.
perfect, perfect. So when's a good day for me to stop by?
You can come by today at 5.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna get to the house. They're trying to out technique us. Could they just give 1%? Maybe, but here's what I've learned also, which I learned the hard way. Maybe they do sell their house, but maybe they were impressed with me and they give me a lead on another house that's selling in the neighborhood. Maybe it's a family. We don't know what we don't know. We think we know. He's a jerk. He's only offering 1%. We don't know anything else is going on in their life. So I think every opportunity for us to demonstrate who we are in real estate to people, that's like networking. That is the cheapest form of expanding your brand by getting out and meeting as many people as we can right now in this marketplace. Because I see it all the time in all those scrolls of all the masterminds on Facebook. And what do we do? We're waiting for something to happen. Let's cause something to occur. Meet that person. Hey, you know what? I can't afford any more than 1%, Marcos, but let me just tell you this. I have a brother that's planning on selling his house, and I know he's got to go. I'm impressed with you and how you're talking to me. You don't seem like these other agents that are just really pushy. I'm gonna give him your number. That can happen.
Yeah, but here's another one. I sold 2 of my other houses on my own. It's just it's really simple. There's no point in hiring a realtor.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Actually, you know what? That's fantastic. And I actually work well with people with your type of experience. So when's a good day for me to come by and see the home?
Yeah, so you're just kind of acknowledging it and then brushing it off,
Well,
and
first of all, something I did there, I complimented the person. If they're a big ego person, the best way, actually, the drivers are the easiest person to put in the palm of your hand because all you got to do is compliment them. No, it's great that you have all this experience because I actually do well with someone with your type of experience. When's a good day for me to stop by? See, I have an answer. I don't go well, and throw up. Okay, now I am talking about, does it work every time? No, but every time you confront a person like this in a way that he's not or she's not used to, you're building your skills to the next level. What's been happening in real estate is this closing hard, used car type of approach. Are you familiar with my techniques? I could save you money right now. If I can get you that type of net that you want, would you meet with me? That works for some people, maybe 2 personality styles, and it may not be your personality style, and that's why you're having problems with it. I want to go stealth. I want to get in that house. I want them to have good eye contact with me. I want them to see that I'm a professional, the tools that I may be able to bring to you. And we're going to go over that just a little bit on the preview, but great questions. So the idea here is that we're setting a time for you to do the preview. And then you're going to do almost like an 8-week follow-up. Now, there's that script. It's something that you guys could work on, don't forget that there's some fundamentals of repeating and affirming, using bridges as you look at the script rules on the bottom. Out of curiosity, because if you give them question, it's like an interrogation, they're not going to feel comfortable. Hey, out of curiosity, let me ask you this. Are you allowing agents to preview the property? Right? Tonality. So here's what I want you to do, and I'm going to go over this. You've got to be consistent. You want to do 1 or 2 previews a day. Get off of the office, get out of the office, get off the chair. Because when I'm prospecting, I'm standing because I need to have that energy. I've spelled follow up weekly. Okay. Follow up and check in with the FSBOs weekly. If there's if there's a life-changing event going on, you got to stay on top of this thing. The worst feeling I could ever have is what Rudy said. All of a sudden you call the guy up, oh, we listed with Joe Blow down, that just, it's like a stabbing me in the heart, because that means I didn't follow up well enough. Your ROI could be 10 or 20% on the amount of previews you go to. It's math. I go to 10, I get 1. Actually, if I look at my charts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I went to 10 and got 3. Went to 10 and got 3, 30%. So it could be better as you get better. So let's look at this for a second.
Oh.
This is the preview flow chart. This is what you want to do when you go into the house. And if you guys, I'm going to give you my email address so that if you want this, I'll send it to you and the script. Okay. Most of you guys have this. So let's take it from the beginning. You go to the door. You're going to be on time. You're going to dress to impress. You have a big smile and a firm handshake. I'm not looking to be their best friend. I don't want a hug. I want to be their consultant. And some of you want to get a hug, and so that you feel good that they liked you. And then they go list with someone else. Not a good thing. Okay. So be ready. Before you get to that house, shut off all your electronics. Do not take any calls, and just think about what you've got to do when you get into that house. This is showtime. The next thing you're going to do is that you're going to go in there and say, hey, thanks for letting me come by and see your house. Do you mind giving me a tour? In the old days, and to this day at in some other coaching companies and coaches, can you just stay in the kitchen? I'll just walk around as if I'm a buyer. Okay, so I learned that doesn't even make sense. How do you develop rapport? How do I understand some of the things that they're looking to do? How do I understand what's going on in their life if I tell them to go stay in the living room and let me walk around like a buyer? That I stopped probably 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It didn't make sense. My job is, how do I demonstrate me if I tell them to stay in the kitchen? It doesn't make sense. So my job is to build rapport, as you look at step 3, right? Find out what their true motivation is. Find what the pain is. There's something deep down that I've got to uncover that's causing them to not want to list with an agent, that wants to make a move. They're only going to give you the surface stuff. And I have a thing called the pain funnel that we train you on how to go down and find out what the real reason is. And then you got to find out, what's the personality here? Is this expressive? Pay a compliment as you tour the house, if you can. There's some houses that you know, I like the structure here, because you can't. There's nothing to compliment, you know. So, and then warning. Here's a big warning. Okay, do not give free advice. And this is a huge mistake that all realtors want to do. Hey, I'm talking about their house, not about the current market or whatever it may be. Hey, you know, if it was me, I would probably take this out of here, and I would do this, and I would probably, that's what they're going to hire you for. We're trying to kind of tease them a little bit and say, you know what, if you work with me, this is what I said. You know what, they may ask, what do you think about my price? Which is another lead in. They're trying to out technique you when they say, do you think my price is right? You know what? It's hard for me to say. The market is changing. Now I'm going to scare them a little bit. The market is changing rapidly every day. You can see the rates going up, rates going down. You know, things are changing. So it's hard for me to really say that this price is exactly right. When do you want to move? Well, we want to move in 30 days. Yeah. So I guess you want a 30-day price. And that's something I would have to do some specific research on at my office. I could do that, and I can come back and give that to you. When's a good day for me to come back? Trial close. Trial close. Okay. Now, in this situation here, we're looking to see, now I've got something covered here, so I got to look at on my other sheet here because I can't read. You know, is it a life-changing event? Is there a marriage, a divorce, pregnancy? What's going on in their life? And you're going to have to, as you're walking through the house, you're picking up those vibes and you're trying to figure that out. Because if there is a life-changing event, you have a self-motivating situation. When they say they're not going to list with anybody, the life-changing event is going to cause them to do something. So they're on the top of my list to follow up. Like they go, well, we don't have to move. We love it here. And all my grandkids are here and my family's here. And we thought maybe we'll go find a house with a pool. No life-changing event. To me, for me, I got to go find the right fish. And that, speaking Rudy's language, is the not one that I will go after because there's no motivation and it's just going to waste a lot of my time. There's no life-changing event. The big question has to be asked at the house. The big question has to be asked. If it's a driver or an analytical, or it's a amiable or an expressive. And this is when you start to learn personality styles. And, if you've coached with me, I teach you this stuff. But let's just say the big question has to be asked sometime in the house, maybe before you walk out. Hey, if the home doesn't sell in the time that you'd like it to get it sold by, what are your plans? And the reason why that's an open-ended question, because those people don't like to talk. If you give them a yes or no answer, it's what they call a closed-ended question, the conversation stops. So I want them to elaborate more. I'm trying to get more engagement out of the person. So they'll say something like, well, we're thinking that maybe in about 30 days, we may go ahead and interview. Okay, great. Well, you know what? Hey, first of all, it's a great plan. And I'd like to be, I like your house and I'd like to be someone in the mix, and you could talk about what benefits you have. We happen to have an incredible marketing program for houses like you, and we have 128 pieces that we use for this. And this is like the biggest thing that's in the industry right now, or whatever you want to say. But I'd like to be one of those people that are in the mix. See, I didn't close. I didn't have commission breath. I didn't take it. We're like Dracula. Can I suck the blood out of his neck? Commission, just slow down. You're a sniper. The sniper doesn't take the shot. He's got to make sure the wind's right. He's got to, that's what we got to do. I'm writing things down to look interested. We have a brand new HVAC system in our second zone. Great HVAC, great. And this is, and then we have, thermonuclear heating system that's underground. Okay, thermonuclear, whatever it may be. I'm writing things down to look interested. You're not there to get out. Here's the other thing that I think is so weird. A real estate agent going to a house without a notebook, without anything to write with. Are you there to move in? Are you there to just get a snack? Come on. You have to look like you're in business. So I always, always, always have my day timer with me or a yellow pad. And underneath the yellow pad could be some scripts because I forget something or some information that I want to leave with them. Okay. So look like you're in business. All right. So now we asked the big question, and then the other thing is, hey, if it made financial sense to move your time frame up, because they said they're going to think about maybe interviewing in 30 days. I'm asking just a general question. I don't say list with me. This is a great question. If it made financial sense to move your time frame up, would you consider it? Okay, this is basically a trial close. Do you understand? This preview flow is strategic. I got to get as much information. This is my one shot to find out what the heck's going on with their life and how could this be a listing that I can get? And they will go, well, yeah, what do you mean? Like the driver will go, well, what do you mean by that? The amiable, well, what do you mean by that? The expressive, well, what do you mean by that? The analytical, exactly what do you mean by saying that to me, Bill? Well, you know how the market is right now. Things are changing dramatically, and we're in a period of time right now. A lot of people take vacations and they're gone all of June. So to this, in my opinion, let's just say if you were my client, I would say sooner the better. And if you could, I think that would give you an advantage over what's going on in the marketplace right now. I just dumped some information. That was strategic, the way I dumped it in the conversation. Here's my concern for you. Market's changing. So in real estate, to motivate someone, it's going to be the loss of time, the loss of money. So whatever you say will have to encompass those two things. And then you can go through the next steps and see this because we don't have a lot of time here. I'm going to wrap up in just a second. Okay. So I think today what I want you to do is understand this. between now and next Wednesday, I would love to see you guys come back. Hopefully more people will jump on board. Is to do 5 previews between now and next time we talk here. Once you're in, you're invited to come back. So some of you that I just met, great. The people that I've known, come back. Set at least 1 per day. If you want to go crazy and set 2, the more you do, the more chances you're going to get a listing. Be on time when you get there. Stay in your price range. What does that mean? I don't go lower than a certain price range because I don't have I don't want to deal with that. I need the price range that I want so that I keep my averages up. So I'm not looking for handyman specials and things like that right now, unless I have a handyman special guy that wants to buy it, but I typically don't. I don't have time. So when I go out the door, I got to make sure I'm hitting it right. Okay. Avoid closing hard and having commission breath because you're going to get all excited. Yeah, we're really excited about moving. So you got to kind of be careful. You're the doctor. You know, you don't see a doctor go, well, shoot, if you're ready, man, I'm ready to go operate right now. Lay down and I'll cut you open. That's what we do as agents. All right, be careful with that. All right. So if you have any questions from today, go to info@pathtopro.net. Email me questions. If you want the scripts, email me. If you want the preview flow chart, email me there. Make sure you're on next week so we can deep dive into the process of following up and closing. Okay, because I want to talk a little bit more about closing, and use my email for additional questions that you have.